This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. The year is 2024, and the simulation has completely broken. What have we learned this year? There are no rules. Just when you think you've seen it all, well, get ready, because the trains are coming. The crazy train has no brakes and no wheels, and it's careening into the Grand Canyon. It's taking us with it, and it's going to be very entertaining, actually, when it hits the ground. It's got, at the very least, Elon's razor exists, and that means that the most entertaining outcome is probably the most likely. And that's what we're seeing on cable news. We watch a lot of cable news on this program. I mean, I think it's a dying medium, quite frankly, but I'm entertained by it, and it's where we get some content pieces and some stories. And so when we watch cable news and we see moments like this, Kamala Harris being called the Hawk Tua girl of politics live on Fox News, we say, can't get freaking crazier than that.
And then there's the DEI press secretary telling you that the DEI vice president is the future of the party here. And so the future looks kind of dim for the Democrats here, but this is no shocker either. Kamala Harris, she's the original Hawk Tua girl. That's the way she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands.
That was tough. That was harsh.
The original Hawk Tua girl. Maybe that's what Kamala, maybe this is what Kamala will do after she loses in a landslide, which she is on her way to doing. She'll join the Talk to a podcast. Or she'll join Call Her Daddy. She'll be co-host. It'll be great. I would say she'd join The View, but she's actually too dumb to be on The View. And that entire table at The View has like a room temperature combined IQ. Okay, here we go. Well, CNN is going after Fox News, not in ratings, of course, but in crazy clips. This clip is insane, and it might actually be more insane than the Hawk Tua clip. CNN explodes as pro-Trumper uses historical slur on black people supporting Kamala Harris. Oh man, what is this? A CNN panel exploded when a pro-Trump guest referenced a historical slur against black supporters of Vice President Kamala Harris. This term, House and Field African American, was used by a guy named Shelley Winter. Shelley Winter is this dude. And he's a radio broadcaster here on Atlanta's News and Talk 95.5. Here he is here. Shelley Winter is a traditionalist, a conservative, desperately wants America to return to a time with moral values that he cherished. He's not a Republican or a Democrat, and he's listed as a swing voter and a vote builder. And this is what he's proud the most of. His heroes are Thomas Sowell. Well, I mean, that's a good start. Thomas Sowell's just one of the greatest minds of our time. Now, would Thomas Sowell have made this argument? I don't know, man. I'm going to play it for you. Here we go. Total chaos after CNN drops a truth nuke regarding the 2024 election. This race is between House African Americans and Field African Americans, and I quote, "The Field African Americans are voting for Donald Trump. Your men who do things." Okay? So let's see if you can see the point that this man is trying to make. And, well, what you think of it. The psychotic meltdown of this panel is one for the history books. Here we go.
The editor-in-chief of Bloomberg. I want to move on to what Donald Trump has said about an issue near and dear to both of your hearts, the issue of black Americans and Latino voters. Kamala Harris has been doing interviews on black media. Trump, though, is overperforming in polling with both groups compared to past Republicans. Here is what he said when he was campaigning in Pennsylvania.
Any African American or Hispanic, and you know how well I'm doing there, that votes for Kamala, you got to have your head examined, because they are really screwing you. They are really screwing you.
It is Kamala, for the record, but he is denigrating voters for making a choice that he does not like. Shelley, to you, what does he achieve with this?
Well, wait, first of all, how is he denigrating voters?
He's saying that they are being, for lack of a better word, screwed.
Taken advantage of. They're being taken advantage of. They're paying higher pricing. They're working class, the ones that he's talking about, working class, lower middle class. They're paying more for food, they're paying more for gas, and they're being taken advantage of.
But
and
Shelley,
over the course of 30 years, they voted.
He also said that they, that they had to have their head examined. That is not something that is a compliment.
Obama just told me the same thing. Obama just told me the same thing. I've got black women telling me I'm not really he inferred them. He implied them. He certainly did. He even threatened us with, "You're lucky Michelle's not here." I mean, come on. Let's not make things up. Let's be honest here, and let's really be clear what's being said. If you're an African-American man, look, let me boil this election down in the African-American community to a very simple a reference to great Malcolm X. This race is between House African-Americans and field African-Americans. And the field African-Americans are going for Donald Trump. I'm talking about your men. I'm talking about your men who build, your men who put things together, your men who work with their hands, your men who do things, not the men who push paper, or the men who are connected to power and want to continue to be connected to power.
Are you denigrating African-American men who are professionals who work in white-collar jobs? Is that what I'm hearing from you? Or
no?
I'm just trying to understand, is Shelley the House one or the field one? I'm just trying to understand that part. I'm just trying to understand. We have someone who's spitting. I'm just trying to understand the one that's spitting talking points right now. Are you the House Negro or the field Negro that you're referring to? So I just want to make sure. Your question was about denigrating black people. That literally was your question. You have a Republican fool who was talking right now about. You literally just said that black men. You actually just said this is an election about House or field. This is the nonsense that we are listening to right now by those that are supporting Donald Trump. That is actually what you just. There's only clearly you must be in your own talk. I'm not sure what kind of radio show you have that you can't listen to your own thing. So you actually just said.
For Trump.
Again, do you understand? You sound absurd and silly. And so let's actually talk about the substance of your question. The substance of the question was around denigrating. The substance of the question was denigrating black and Latino communities.
Sir, the substance of what I said is very clear.
My name is Michael. My name is Michael. And we thank you that. So the point here, the question that was raised around denigrating black and Latino communities.
All right, my brother, let me answer the question.
The concerning
Are you going to let me answer the question?
The concerning part.
Are you going to let me answer the question?
Shelley, you made the point saying that you made a point saying that you believe that.
The point I'm making, ma'am, Sarah, the point I'm making is this: the men who get up every day and make things happen with their hands. They build things. They're plumbers. They're electricians. They're working for Amazon. These men who are coaching 7 and under football, not because their son or daughter plays, but because they want to keep brothers off the streets and they're volunteering their time. These men are going for Trump. These men, and I used an analogy made famous by the great Malcolm X. So if you're saying that I'm denigrating anybody, then you must assume that he was denigrating somebody. So don't even throw that word out there again, my brother.
So Michael,
the fact of the matter is that's what you're seeing in the black community.
So
I'm not denigrating anybody.
We have heard the filibuster now. So the point yesterday.
I answered your question.
When Vice President Harris was in Detroit with Charlamagne the God, and we're talking about Detroit versus everybody. So the reference that was just made, he's essentially communicating that the people in Detroit and Milwaukee and Philly that are doing work, manufacturing jobs, putting in for their communities, are going to vote for Donald Trump, a man who has no policy, no support, who called for the death penalty on black men and has repeatedly been against us. So let's be abundantly clear. You have a choice. You can follow the rhetoric of someone who is literally calling you a house or field black man, or you can follow the black woman who was a DA an AG, a United States Senator, a Vice President, an HBCU alum, a sorority sister who is actually helping black people. This is the decision you have in 20 days. To follow people like Shelley, who is saying this rhetoric. We've heard his filibuster. How has she helped black people? We could listen to Shelley or to Clarence Thomas.
Mr. Winter, you've had your point. I'm just trying to let both of you.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. So, like, the reality is this. You have a scenario right now where you have on one side a black woman who is saying, how do we help our communities? To your earlier question, Sarah, around how can you do both? On one side, you have Vice President Harris, who is articulating how we can help domestically and abroad. Donald Trump sent COVID tests to help Putin. So while your black family's house or field, referring to what Shelley is talking about,
that's misinformation, sir.
We're dying.
That's misinformation.
We're dying. We're dying because of Donald Trump's policies.
That's misinformation.
You know, it's
that's
amazing.
Misinformation.
We will focus here.
We are going to leave this here.
Yes, absolutely.
Michael Blake, Shelley Winter, thank you both for joining us.
Why don't you correct the misinformation?
Have a good day
for joining us.
For your great show.
What do you think, chat? Too far? What do you think? Jeez. What a year. I'll just say it. What a year. What a year. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna sit back and simply say this. All right. I'll sit back and simply say this, because I'm not gonna take the bait, right? The working class, like the Teamsters Union, Firefighters Union, the Border Patrol, Police Union, Fraternal Order of Police, and so on. The working class love Trump and have refused to endorse Democrats. And if you go talk to working class people, like I do every single time I take, so take an Uber or like go to a restaurant and ask people who they want to be president. Every single one of them, to a man or woman, will tell you Trump. I have never gotten in an Uber, and I ask every single time, who you voting for? I've never gotten in an Uber and heard somebody say Kamala. Never heard it. I've never heard it. And this is just like I only use that example to say, like, this is an exchange that I have with working class people, with great regularity. If you're traveling, sometimes you have to take multiple Ubers a day. You're at one of the conventions or something, and you take all these Ubers and you ask these people, and that's what they say, right? So the working class, and all polls show this, the working class is for Trump. I'll leave the rest of the argument to CNN there and to the chat. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. What you think of that, chat? See ya.